I want to talk a little bit about the history and how it all got started. In 1949, my grandfather built his dream home on Ingleside Avenue, which was the former Bowman Dairy Farm. It had a lot of potential, but it was not very pretty at the time. I've seen old black and white photos of it. It was clear cut and dirt. Ingleside was a dirt road, and it wasn't very pretty. So he hired a landscape company to come in and plant some dogwoods to beautify the property. However, there was a mistake. And somehow Yoshino cherry trees were exchanged for the dogwoods. Nobody knows how they were switched, but it was a very beneficial switch. The next spring when they bloomed, my grandfather was astonished by how beautiful they were, but he didn't know what they were. He later came to find out that they were actually Yoshino cherry trees. He began propagating the trees to plant at Ingleside at his house there. A few years later at Fickling Farm on Riverly Drive. And friends who drove by and saw it looked at how beautiful they were and asked where they could get some, and he didn't know where to get any. So he started giving them away, and pretty soon in the 60s you could see cherry trees throughout Macon and friends of grandfathers, including my parents' house here on Wesleyan Woods. But it was still a pretty small-scale project until grandfather chanced to meet Carolyn Crayton at a party at Fickling's farm. And Carolyn had a dream. And that dream began a famous partnership that was destined to last throughout my grandfather's lifetime, that fundamentally improved and beautified Macon. Carolyn's dream was to have mass plantings here initially in Wesleyan Woods. That's what we're here to commemorate today, but it didn't stop there. As we all know, Carolyn asked grandfather to give, I think, 1,000 trees a year for 10 years. And he said, well, I don't know if I'm going to live another 10 years, so I'll go ahead and give you 10,000 trees a year. And then, 350,000 trees later, here we are. The partnership that they began has lasted 3 generations until today, and it continues as we prepare for the 33rd festival, Mr. Mayor, but the partnership goes back to the 70s originally. So the take-home from this that we're commemorating today is that you can make a difference. Carolyn certainly made a difference. My grandfather made a difference. Macon can change and it can improve. We are here to honor Carolyn for the example that she set, and I hope many future generations will continue to follow that example and make an improvement in their community. Thank you very much, Carolyn.